ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Bill Guile.
Good evening, everyone. Getting ready for our nor'easter, late season one. Winter storm watches and warnings will be going up tomorrow evening about 8 o'clock, and they'll stay in effect all the way until Wednesday morning at least. May last a little bit longer in some locations. And also high wind watch will go up along the coastline in particular, but that doesn't happen until Tuesday morning because that's when the winds will really begin to ramp up. Now outside in Providence, we're at 33 degrees. We're going to drop back maybe another degree or two for the overnight hours, and that's pretty much going to be about it. But otherwise, things are pretty quiet out there. The winds are down around 5 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. You can see most of the area. Temperatures running in the mid-30s at this hour. A few colder spots up towards Smithfield, 30 degrees, and Worcester seeing about 33 as well. So again, with the cloud cover in place, we're not going too much further temperature-wise, but we're going to be noticing the battleground between the cold air to the north and the warm air to the south, setting the stage for our storm system to really intensify off the mid-Atlantic coastline. So here we go. This is what we're looking at as we go through tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. Storm gets off the coastline and begins to really strengthen. In other words, the pressures are going to start dropping rapidly. So this is what we call bombogenesis, where it just rapidly intensifies like this. And it's going to work its way right up towards southern New England. So that's the trick that we're still trying to figure out exactly how far offshore it'll be going, and then how long it just kind of hangs around and the winds can shift to get us into the colder air. So this is how things are looking as we go through Tuesday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning. Periods of heavy rain for much of Rhode Island and eastern Massachusetts. It'll be a wet, pasty snow off to the north and west, and that's where the highest snow totals are certainly going to be checking in. When the winds start coming more north, northeasterly, and northerly during the course of Tuesday around midday and into the afternoon, that's when we're going to make our switch over to snow. So we'll see the colder air working all the way down to the coastline and towards the Cape as well. So one of the things that'll be battling until that happens is the wind that's on shore, and it'll be during the daylight hours. All that will be fighting snow accumulations. But we get into Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning, we'll certainly be adding it up. And of course, anytime we get into periods of moderate to heavy snow, meaning snowfall rates of 1 inch to as much as 2 inches per hour, that can overwhelm some of the melting process when that change takes place as well. You can see as it starts pulling away during Wednesday, we're still left with eastern sections of Massachusetts and Rhode Island with some leftover snows until we can finally wind things down. So here's the close-up look for you. Again, it's going to be dry through most of the afternoon tomorrow until we get to the late afternoon and into the evening hours. The first light rains will start to move on in. And then overnight, these yellows and oranges denoting heavy rainfall. We could be looking at 1 to 2 inches of rainfall before we even get to some snow. And then as we go on into midday Tuesday, that's when the storm center starts working past the outer Cape. The winds become a little more northerly, and watch, boom, the colder air pushes all the way to the south, so we get these periods of snow. The darker shades of blue denoting some of the moderate to briefly heavier snow bands that will be setting up. And this is going to continue through Tuesday night and on into Wednesday morning, and then it will start to ease up a little bit during Wednesday afternoon. But here's a look at the winds we're going to be dealing with. Now, these are some of the gusts. In the morning hours, are going to be gusting 35 to 45 miles per hour. And by the afternoon, as they become more northerly, we could get some gusts of 45 to as much as 60 miles per hour. So this, again, the wind combined with the wet, heavy snow, the potential for power outages will be there for certain. All right, here's what I'm looking at for snow totals. Most of Rhode Island, somewhere between 4 and 8 inches. The Providence to Boston corridor along 95 could be about 6 or 7 inches or so. Lesser amounts down to the coast and to the southeastern Mass because we're looking at rain for a longer period of time before we can flip the snow. But when you start adding elevation to the north and west, we could be easily looking at 1 foot, and you get up into northern Worcester County, and it could be 1.5 feet of snowfall. Those numbers will still be tweaked during the day tomorrow, so you want to check in for updates on that. When the whole thing's gone, we're looking at clearing for the second half of the week, heading towards St. Patrick's Day, looking pretty good with melting temperatures up around 50 degrees before the next event comes in Saturday with rain. That's your latest forecast.